G'day everybody, Sean from Bourbon Brothers here. We're doing our March tasting videos and we're looking at one of the staples in everybody's bar, Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack. So Gentleman Jack comes in at 40% ABV, its mash bill is 80% corn, 12% malted barley and 8% rye. If you're a whiskey aficionado or anybody who knows anything about spirits, I know you've heard of Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack. This whiskey is known for its smooth, refined taste and its distinct charcoal filtering process. But what's the story behind this iconic whiskey? We're going to explore the history of Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack and what makes it stand out from the other whiskies on the shelf. Jack Daniel's is one of the most well-known whiskey brands in the world. It was founded by Jasper Newton Jack Daniel in Lynchburg, Tennessee in 1866. Jack Daniel was just a teenager when he started working in a whiskey distillery, and he went on to create his own brand at the age of 20. Jack Daniel was born in 1846 in Lynchburg, Tennessee. He was the youngest of 10 children and grew up working on his family farm. At the age of 7, Jack's mother died and his father remarried shortly after. Jack didn't get along with his stepmother and left home when he was just 13 years old. After leaving home, Jack was taken in by a local preacher named Dan Call. Call owned a whiskey distillery and taught Jack the art of whiskey making. It is said that Jack was an eager apprentice and quickly learned how to make whiskey. He was so skilled that he took over the distillery when Call retired. In 1866, Jack Daniel founded his own distillery, which he named Jack Daniel's Old No. 7. The distillery is located in Lynchburg, Tennessee, and Jack used the same techniques he learned from Dan Call to make his whiskey, and he quickly gained a reputation for producing high-quality spirits. One of the most famous stories associated with Jack Daniel's whiskey involves a safe in the distillery. The story goes that one day, Jack arrived at the distillery and forgot the combination to the safe. In frustration, he kicked the safe, injured his toe, and that injury eventually led to an infection, which led to Jack's death in 1911. It has become part of the lore surrounding Jack Daniel's whiskey. Today, visitors to the distillery can see the safe and the dent that is said to be made by Jack's boot. The brand quickly gained popularity, and at the turn of the century, it had won awards at international whiskey competitions. Unfortunately, in 1906, a fire broke out at the distillery, destroying much of it. Jack Daniel never rebuilt the distillery himself, but his nephew, Lem Motlow, took over and rebuilt it in a new location. The new distillery is where Jack Daniel's whiskey is still produced today. In 1910, Tennessee passed a statewide prohibition law making it illegal to produce, transport, or sell alcoholic beverages. When the law went into effect in 1911, Jack Daniel's distillery was forced to close. However, the distillery was reopened in 1938, shortly after the end of Prohibition. Today, that distillery is a popular tourist destination, and Jack Daniel's whiskey is sold all over the world. So Gentleman Jack is a premium version of Jack Daniel's whiskey. It was first introduced in 1988 and is marketed as double-mellowed whiskey. So what the hell does that mean? Like all Jack Daniel's whiskies, Gentleman Jack is made from a mash bill of 80% corn, 12% malted barley and 8% rye. The whiskey is then distilled and aged in new charred oak barrels. However, what sets Gentleman Jack apart is a charcoal filtering process. After the whiskey's been aged, it is filtered through charcoal made from sugar maple wood. This process, called the Lincoln County process, is a requirement for all Tennessee whiskies. But what makes Gentleman Jack unique is that it's filtered twice. The first time it is filtered, it is done before the whiskey is aged, and the second time it is filtered is after it has been aged. This double mellowing process is what gives Gentleman Jack its smooth, refined taste. The whiskey's still got that hint of spice, a little bit of vanilla and caramel, but it just doesn't have that harshness and bite that some other whiskies can have. The Gentleman Jack name is a nod to Jack Daniel himself. Jack was known as a gentleman in his community and was said to always dress in a suit and tie. The name is also a nod to the whiskey's double mellowing process, which is said to make the whiskey more refined and smooth, much like a gentleman. So that's the background of this iconic whiskey. Let's give it a shot. So on that nose, you'll get the soft vanilla and caramel that mingle with summer fruit light oak, and as with all Jack Daniels, that touch of banana. A small dab of maple syrup in the background offers that additional sweetness from that mellowing process. So on the palate, you've got subtle banana followed by the sweet flavours. You get that caramel, vanilla custard, honey, brown sugar and oak. The delivery, it's even and it's smooth. The finish is just a touch of spice that accent the lingering notes of that caramel, brown sugar and honey in a short but agreeable finish. So that's the Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you're enjoying your journey. Cheers. Jack Daniel never rebuilt the distillery himself. The f***ing fly.
Right.
Just cross. Jack. What? Give the people what they want. You raised hell ahead. And we got off track.
We true.
All right.
Hands on hips.
It's late.
It's late time.
We good. We good. Unique New York.